Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Black Accountant. It's your boy Mo, and if you haven't already done so, you know the drill. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments of any kind of content you want to see going forward. But most importantly, don't forget to turn on notification bells so you get notified when I drop new videos. So, I took a little bit of a break from posting last week, just because I had to wrap up a project for my 9-to-5 job. We were a little bit short-staffed, and I kind of had to step in and do a lot more than I usually would, just to kind of close things out. If you will, wrap a bow on it, and give it away. But this week I'm back with some new content. I'm actually going to be flying back to California this week, and taking also a break from my 9-to-5 job. So I'll probably be posting more YouTube videos, being a little bit more active on Instagram, and such. But today I just kind of wanted to do a very simple topic. And it's one that I think a lot of it's experience, and it's something that I see a lot whenever I'm online, and that is the culture of addressing everyone. And nothing really gets under my skin as much as that, where something just seems so obvious, but having to give like all this background and all these disclaimers. So typically speaking, I see that here a lot on YouTube too, where if I talk about a specific subject or a facet of a subject specifically, where somebody will say, but you didn't talk about this point, or you didn't address this specific demographic, or you didn't address this specific person. And that's like one really big thing about PC culture and social justice that I really hate, is the whole having to address every single person that's doing something to get a point across. Does that make sense? I think to kind of like provide more of an example, it's kind of like, if I'm talking about like, hey, Black Lives Matter, right? Nobody's saying all lives don't matter. We are particularly focusing on this subgroup right now, Black lives, because of whatever disparity is occurring. Same thing when it comes to like, if I'm talking about mental health and I say something like, mental health is an excuse. Obviously that's more of a clickbaity type title, but if you watch the content, and if you even have half a brain low key, you would realize that it's not everybody. You can't make sweeping generalizations about everyone. And if I'm talking about a demographic, or if I'm talking about a specific problem, there's no way for me to address every single possible way that that problem presents itself. It's just unnecessary and unlikely. I rely on the fact that everyone has the common sense to realize that whenever you speak on something, you're not speaking to everybody. You're not speaking about everybody. You're talking about whatever particular examples you're giving, whatever particular experience you're sharing, and that's it. And that's just something I really wanted to get off my chest, because I find it to be really, really annoying. And of course, I'm still going to give certain disclaimers when I talk about particular topics, just because some people don't get it, and other times it might require like that additional level of sensitivity in case somebody just happened to stumble upon your content. But it's something that needs to be said. And whenever I'm thinking about addressing people or addressing a subject, it typically comes with a lot of whatabout-isms. Credit to Arda for that word, by the way. It's where you're talking about a particular subject and somebody says, what about this group? What about that group? What about this specific scenario? What about that? Like, it's cool. We'll get to it. I'll get to it if I can. But that's not what I'm talking about right now. You feel me? It just seems to me that in today's day and age, we seem to be lacking or getting rid of a lot of context to situations, where it's like, I'll grab a portion of what you say and run with that, instead of providing or listening to the entire context of an opinion or of a conversation before you come to a judgment. And, at the end of the day, for me, this is also YouTube, right? A lot of people are always just going to like kind of glimpse at a title. And if the title seems like a summation of what you're talking about, then that's what people take it as, instead of an invitation to kind of check out the actual content. So I don't really hold too much weight to those, just because if I know personally that person did not watch the content because their opinion does not match what was stated in the video. but that's its own thing. And aside from just skipping the content, it seems like we as a society are sort of devolving into this inability to read between the lines where everything needs to be consistently stated verbally or needs to be stated to be understood, if that makes any sense as well. And that's more like, let me think of a good example for that. Yeah, I think a good example too is like a previous video that I did where I said, why do black people fail college? And a lot of the comments and opinions that I read about it are like, okay, well, these are things everybody experiences. Because I stated a couple of reasons of why I think that's the case. And while that may be true to an extent, I'm referring to this specific topic because I'm talking about this particular topic. Yes, these are issues that affect this group, and they affect this group in a more disparaging way than maybe other groups. But it doesn't discount or take away from the fact that other groups also experience similar things. If I'm talking about race, I'm talking about my particular race, usually. And about whatever things affect me, affect my group, affect these people, because that's what relates to me. That's what I can speak from. So it doesn't really make sense for me to necessarily have to go into detail about every other group and what's disparaging to them or whatever is going on with them, because I can only speculate, really, even though there may be a lot of commonalities, right? And it doesn't mean that I'm saying that their struggles don't exist or we have it worse than everybody else. It's just particularly focusing on that because that is a topic of conversation. But that's really all I really want to say about this topic. Let me know what your thoughts are on giving disclaimers in YouTube videos and in social media and whatever it is that you're posting. Do you feel like people need to include everybody? Do you feel like you need to talk about everybody and everybody surrounding a problem in order to tackle it? Or do you think this just kind of extra steps? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.